How's it going? It's Miniman. People farm. Let's talk about it. Well, you can ask, am I just a little animal in a farm getting farmed by some farmer? Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But the answer is really brutal, because it's yes. Yes, you are. And this is by design, and it's not basically your fault. But on the other hand, it is, because you comply. You're not rebelling against it. This is what it's meant by the term people. See, I'm sweating, but the view pays off, doesn't it? This is what it's meant by the term people farming or graduated animal farm from George Orwell, which basically means people are farmed just like sheep. Okay? So we're all sheeple. We're all the sheep people, and we are asleep. And there's some shepherd and some shepherd dog, and that structure controls us and keeps us in line. So if one sheep steps out of line, then the shepherd is gonna whistle and the dog is gonna run and bite you in your ass. And then you can say, oh, Miniman, that's a bunch of crap. You're probably one of those conspiracy theorists, right? Bullshit. You just don't see the bigger picture. And you refuse to think for yourself. That's why you refuse to see the bigger picture. You see, if you look at the structure we're living in, this is precisely the structure we're living in. Because the control structure about this device, by the way, your smart, everything's smart. Smart TV, smart phone, smart car, smart this, smart ass. All that smart stuff is listening to everything you're saying, and is monitoring your every move. Okay? Every website you Google, every place you go, is all tracked. And now we're moving into a time where if you say the wrong thing, then you maybe get banned on Facebook. Right, Facebook? Can you hear me, Facebook? You're listening to me, aren't you? And if you repeatedly do this, then they'll just ban you for life, I guess. They just kick you out. Or you get deplatformed like Alex Jones, right? And I try to make that point when he got deplatformed, like completely taken off all these platforms, that this is a problem, and then I get attacked because people think like that I'm agreeing with everything Alex Jones is saying. But, you know, fuck Alex Jones, that's not the point. The point is that a person has no longer the ability to speak, whatever he's got to say. So freedom of speech is the problem. But people are, obviously, even educated people are not able to be sophisticated enough and see that freedom of speech is extremely valuable, and if that's gone, then that's a problem for all of us. And That has nothing to do with Alex Jones whatsoever. And he's just another puppet controlled by the control structure. He's a graduated animal farmer. That means if you no longer comply with the average Joe animal farm, then you have a farmer like Alex Jones. Can you hear me okay? I hope you can hear me okay. Then you have a farmer like Alex Jones that is taking care of the sheep that escaped. Whew, I'm sweating. And so the sheep who listen to Alex Jones, and they get some truth. Yeah, they don't get the full truth, but they get some truth. They think, oh yeah, I'm escaping. I'm escaping the animal farm. See, this guy's telling me what's really going on, and this is just another way to control the more advanced sheep who escaped. And it's a way to control those and group those into, the Alex Jones follower. And it's also gonna make like this whole group look so ridiculous, because the farming style of Alex Jones is so ridiculous. Then all the average Joe sheep, the normal sheep, they gonna like really stay in line because they don't want to look ridiculous as the other sheep, who get farmed by Alex Jones. This is just a more sophisticated way to farm people. Okay, I can already hear you say, well, what's the point? I'm not a sheep. Me, right? I'm not one of those. I can think for myself, and what's this metaphor telling me anyway? It's completely wrong, isn't it? Well, it isn't. It's totally accurate, and here's why. Well, first of all, you probably think, oh, by sheep he probably means, oh, I'm asleep, and that's not so bad. That's not really a problem. But you see, sheep are not just farmed for control. A farmer is taking care of sheep because of the profit. Because when the hair grows enough, then, and the time is right, and the sheep are ripe, well, they get shaved, right? So you get the wool, and then the farmer sells the wool, and that's how he makes a profit and is taking care of his family, and that's his business model. Same here, okay? You go to work, you do your 9 to 5, and then you pay your taxes. Yeah? And if you don't pay your taxes, then you're going to get in trouble, right? You're going to get threatened, you're going to get some mail, and the envelope is going to change colors from white to yellow to red to whatever. And, the more alarming the envelope looks, the more threatening the content of the mail it's going to be. And basically, they're going to threaten you to pay a fine, or you're going to be put in prison, or they're going to take all your stuff, and they're going to pick up your house, and they're going to block your account. Like that. And you don't have access to your bank account anymore because the government decided they just said so. So you're not paying, well, then we're going to take your shit. So this is terrorism 101. And I thought that, like, the government is fighting this war on terrorism. Well, how is that gonna work if they're the terrorists? So how are you gonna make the terrorists fight the war on terrorism? That's just logical, clear, first-grade bullshit, isn't it? And it's just plain extortion. This is the same behavior as terrorists behave. They're gonna threaten you, they're gonna blackmail you. You're either gonna pay that amount by that date, or we're gonna kill your daughter. And if you still don't pay, then we're gonna kill your wife, you know? And then we're gonna kill your friends, or whatever. That's just plain 101 terrorism. And the government is doing the same thing. But basically, the government is not the problem. I could easily say, yeah, fuck the government. But actually, the government is not really the problem, because you are the problem. You sheep people are the problem. So I shouldn't say, no, fuck the government. Fuck you. Fuck you with the strong argument that you being such a sheep and so willing to comply and so willing to be shaved once a year, that you allow the system to exist. Right? Yeah, that's pretty much the argument you can't really defend. Because if one person says fuck the government, that person's going to be put in jail. But if all the sheep say meh, 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 that was grandpa. If all say fuck the government, then that's a different story, okay? Then the system can continue like this. But since nobody's doing it, everybody's complying. So, yeah, that's the system we got, right? It's the sheep farming, people farming system. You get shaved once a year, and you pay 70% tax. Yeah. And you think capitalism, that's great, right? That's so free. I'm living in the land of the free, in the land of the brave. Give me a fucking break, okay? Land of the free, that's gone. A land of the brave, big question mark. There's nothing brave about this behavior. If you think capitalism is freedom and you're paying 70% tax, and you wonder why you're just over broke doing that 9 to 5, and you don't have any questions, then, well, that's a problem, isn't it? And you think, oh yeah, socialism, that's better. That's the idea of sharing, right? Is it? Really? Well, if you look at history, what communism was, it's just a more radical version of capitalism. It's capitalism 3.0. It's just a small elite that is controlling everything, and the rest has just, enough to survive. So if you think that's the solution, you're just upgrading your prison cell, okay? And you're just repainting your prison bars to a different color, and maybe now, or you vote the Green Party, and now you have green prison bars. What an improvement! Congratulations, everybody. You see, it's all bullshit, and the problem is you. Because if the government can scare you and blackmail you and harass you and terrorize you in taking 70% of your money that you have earned, that they have done nothing for. Well, if you allow that to happen, then you agree to this. We all agree to this, and we are all responsible for the system. And it doesn't change anything to complain. Oh no, this is I want a different president, or Trump is the bad guy, or Merkel is the bad chancellor, or blah blah blah. This is zero helping. Okay, it's not helping anybody. You have to step up and take action and non-comply and stop being a sheep. The shepherd is not gonna stop being a shepherd if the sheep are not stopping being sheep. Because they're not doing it for fun. They're doing it for a profit. And it's your profit. You are being farmed. You are being the one that's being farmed. And you being okay with being farmed. And you are being okay with being controlled and monitored. And you are being okay with being shaved once a year. And if that's not a problem for you, and you agree with this, and you agree with being blackmailed and threatened, and terrorized, well then you can't expect anything to change, can you? I don't know how to say this any clearer than this. I really don't. You have to see that you are the problem, not the shepherd, not the people farm. And stop drinking that fluoride water. And stop being brainwashed by the so-called news. And stop believing everything that people tell you. The news is not information. Religion is not spirituality. Government is not freedom. Cannibalism isn't either. Capitalism is. Thank you for the Freudian slip. If you would know half the truth, what's going on, and I don't know, you would just jump out of your window. What's going on in the Vatican? What's going on in these power structures with pedophilia and all that shit? But you still don't believe it. No, the Pope can't be that bad. This is religion. This is Jesus, right? And if the president said so, it's gotta be right, right? If my doctor said so, it's gotta be right. No, he doesn't have any agenda of its own, or any ties, or getting threatened by the pharmaceutical industry. No. If my doctor says so, well, it's got to be good for my health, correct? If my financial advisor or my bank says so, well, it's got to be good for my wealth, right? If the NASA says so, well, it's got to be the truth. If the NASA says the Earth is round and spinning at 1,000 miles, correct me if I'm wrong, that's faster than the speed of sound. It's spinning on its own axis 1,000 miles, rotating through space. Well, if NASA says so, it's got to be the truth. Right? It's a government agency, isn't it? If they got all the money and the scientists, if the scientist says so, if they say so, well, they have the PhD, who am I to know, who am I to judge? It's got to be the truth. That's the sheep mentality, and that's the problem. The scientists say so, your doctor says so, the Pope says so, the president says so, your parents said so, your teachers say so, your professors say so. Well, then they gotta be right, right? Bullshit. Wrong. Everybody has an agenda and it's not yours. Nothing in this world is happening without an agenda and it's not yours. No action, no news, no information is innocent. You know, get a tattoo. Write it down so you don't forget, if that's hard for you to remember. Well. The sheep people, gotta love them. They always want a comfortable life, sit back, relax, do their 9 to 5, vote for the right president, and hope for the best, right? You hope for the best, and you vote for the best, and you hope, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait for some change that never comes. And it just never comes, but you just keep voting. Well, the next president, oh, it's a black guy. Oh, he's on my side. Oh, it's Trump. He's not the elite. Oh, he's fixing stuff. He's on my side, right? Well, who's gonna be the next guy? Oh, white didn't work. Oh, Bush didn't work. Oh, let's get the black guy in. Oh, yeah, black didn't work. Fuck that. Well, let's get the billionaire that's totally not an elite. Let's get this guy in to fix stuff, right? That's the sheep mentality. That's the problem. But the difference, and this is the good news, the difference between you and a sheep, yeah, is a meh. That's not you, yeah. Meh. Grandpa, that's not you. That's not your real voice. You got a different voice, yeah? You got a voice if you use it. You got a choice if you choose it. What a nice rhyme. You got a voice, but only if you use it. If you speak up. If you vote, then you got rid of your voice, yeah? You gave your voice to somebody and they're gonna represent you. Well, Mr. Politicians, thank you very much, but I can't be represented. Okay, I choose to speak for myself. I don't give my voice to anybody because I need my voice to speak for me. Moi, 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 moi. Whew. Whew. We're going deep. Well, right, if you give your voice away for somebody to represent you, then you basically have no more right to complain about anything, right? Correct? Am I getting this right? Am I getting the concept of democracy correct here? Well, people farming is fun for the elite. So why would they screw things up, you know, by giving you really the power to decide over anything? Yeah, you can vote, but you're still going to be farmed because the farmer says so, as the farmer likes, you know. They're making the profit. You're being farmed just as usual. And if you're getting a little bit more intelligent, well, then they're going to upgrade the security. And this is totally happening now with AI and all that upload filter shit and, you know, Internet of Things. It's all being implemented and experimented on. A lot of stuff is already finished. You know, and if you, oh no, there's just not a problem. Oh well, you should have looked into the fact that Google bought DARPA, you know, and Boston Industries, and maybe you want to look at what they're building. So The technology in itself is not really the problem. The problem is the people who control the technology. Okay, the iPhone is not the problem, but the people who are listening through this device and using that information, the people who control the money, that's the problem. Not the money is the problem. The control structure is the problem. The farmer is the problem. But we can only change this problem or fix this problem if the people, if the sheeple, stop being sheeple. Because a power structure or a control structure can no longer work if none of the sheep are complying. And this is the good news. You're not sheep. You are individuals. You are human beings. You have infinite potential. Okay? You are immortal. You are unlimited consciousness. You have unlimited potential. That's why my slogan is grow or die trying. Discover that potential. You think you're big and you know it all? No. You are really small and arrogant, and that's why you're never growing tall. Yeah? Because you don't give yourself the room to grow. Because you don't see the potential in you to grow, to become more. And so it's back to you. It's all up to us. It's all up to you. If you don't like what's going on, then you gotta change something. Okay? If you don't like what's going on, then you gotta be the one that is making an improvement or is not complying with the system. Otherwise, it's not going to change. It's naive to believe the farmer will stop farming you if they're making a profit and you allow it to happen. But you're not sheep. And even if you are asleep and you are afraid and you don't know how to behave, yeah, and you don't like being shaved once a year, or a couple of times a year. That depends on your tax situation. Then get educated. Do your research. Stop being a sheep. If you don't like being a sheep, stop being a sheep. Stop it. Just stop it. You have the power to stop being sheep. You have the power to wake up. If your willingness is bigger than your comfort, if freedom is more important to you than security, then you can wake up and stop being a sheep and start being a real being, a conscious, awake, aware being, a self-aware being that understands and knows and sees and is aware of what's going on around you, what's going on with you, within you, and around you. That's your responsibility. You can't expect anybody to do this for you. And just voting for the next president or the next party, hoping, waiting, and being patient for them to fix it, well, that's just not good enough, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not good enough. And you are more worth. This is basically all I'm saying. You're more worth. than this. You have more value than a sheep. You're not a sheep. You're not here to get farmed, and you're not here to get fed and shaved. You're not here to be made a profit off. You are free. This is your birthright. But you don't get any freedom here. You have to take it. You don't get any right if you don't insist on it. If you don't know the legal structure, okay? You think this is just hocus pocus and a fairy tale rant, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. There's just so much you don't know, and that's the problem. You see, your birth certificate is a security for debt, for a credit. A couple of $1 million is, worth your ass. Okay? So the bank has you as an asset. Your birth certificate is the value and represents a dollar amount of a couple of $1 million. And this is how the system is run. You think this is just a fantasy or a theory that I'm talking about? You think like people farm is just a metaphor? You think this is air that you're breathing, Neo? Real funny. Yeah, it would be funny if it wouldn't be the truth, right? But you don't know this stuff. And even if you hear it, then you don't believe it because, well, it's just too disturbing for your child fantasy dream bubble you're living in. It's going to make that dream bubble pop. And you don't want to wake up to reality. So you just push it aside and ignore it. And, well, it can't be true because it just can't be true. Because I don't allow it to be true, because I can't imagine it to be true. I'm not getting farmed. No. I'm full in control of my life. I don't know about this, birth certificate business. And my bank is really nice, and my bank representative, they never told me that my ass is an asset. That's probably why it's called an asset, right? Because it's your ass. Now you can laugh now, because it's not gonna get any funnier than this. Okay? You are the problem, not the system. The system can only exist because you give it your time, your energy, your attention, and your money. And if you don't like what's going on, then you gotta change something. You can't wait for the system to change. Because it won't. It's only gonna get smarter, and it's only gonna get harder to escape that prison. And even the people who think, oh yeah, I escaped, I'm self-employed, or I'm listening to Alex Jones, or I'm listening to blah, blah, blah. Well, you just escaped a little bit, and now you're getting farmed by some more sophisticated people, and it appears to you that this is freedom. But really, it's not. You're just being kept in a more sophisticated prison. You have a little more decor in your prison bar or in your prison cell. And if you try to escape, well, you got the key, but the system is going to try everything to offer you a more convenient upgraded, high-tech prison, a more comfortable looking prison, and a more tempting prison for you. They will provide some new version that's gonna be attractive, and you're gonna be sold into living in there. Oh, you don't like the Sheeple prison? It's too stinky. Well, we have a 5-star mansion with a nice view, and you don't like the listening devices? Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem. We have here special high-tech walls. They can't hear or see anything. And he said, oh, whoa, this is so much better. I'd rather stay here. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And if just a couple of people realize this is not going to work. This is only going to work if we all see that we don't like to be farmed as sheep. If all the sheep, or enough sheep, say, fuck this, fuck the farmer, fuck the shepherd dog, fuck the shepherd, and fuck the fence, and fuck being shaved once a year, I had it enough. This is it. I'm done. Then something can change. And that's about that. I wish you a fantastic time in waking up to see the potential in you that you are more than that you are more. Much more. Much more than you can imagine, and much more than a sheep for sure. And your value is so higher, but you have to see the value first. If you see the value in you first, then there should be an automatic response that you are more valuable than being farmed like this. This should be kind of like an automatic. But since you're treated the way like a low value sheep, then you think you don't have the right to be treated differently. You don't have the right to complain. You don't have the right to say, fuck the shepherd, and fuck the dog, and fuck the fence, and fuck the system, and fuck the farm, and fuck the government, and fuck all of this shit. I'm more worth than that. And you are. I'm Miniman. Grow that trying. Yippah!